Okay, so how do we tie all this together? Because we've done all these strategy items, we now have an implementation system, and we want to be able to educate ourselves both with quantitative and qualitative data to be able to understand if what we're doing, if our strategy is correct, if our implementation is correct and aligned. And so we need to have sort of a DIY reporting system, if you will. So if you have set up your KPI goals properly, then you have individuals on your team, they have their goals, KPI names, what the metrics that they're tracking, the goal type, the goal, the KPI count. So you're able to understand if they're above, below, or average towards those most important KPIs for your company. In our initiative management system, we have the ability now to, for each individual initiative that we are implementing, to understand what the result was, what we learned from it, and action items we've taken away from this. And so this is why it's important to sort of tie KPI goals to individual initiatives. And so if you are saying defining your KPIs in here, you'll be able to filter to understand which initiatives were responsible for the outcomes, the strategic outcomes that we're trying to achieve. And you'll be able to now see that quantitative outcome, okay? So the goal is this, the current KPI count is this, so we're above or below target for that current time period. And now you're going to be able to sort of paint and tell that story behind it, because the story tells so much more than just numbers, right? A number doesn't really tell you sort of the whole picture, you know. So if you're getting results, this worked, and the learnings were that, you know, it worked because we had this, you know, perfect messaging, and we had this really unique video. And the action items from this is that, you know, we want to be able to do more video on landing pages. And so for each one of these initiatives, results, learning, and action items is such an abstract way to measure contextual and qualitative success that you can learn from it. And so the whole idea behind this is that you set the strategy, you have an implementation system, but the reporting system provides this circular feedback, right? And so it informs the strategy, which informs the implementation system, which then you're able to understand in your reporting. You're able to understand quantitatively if it's success or failure, and then you're able to understand why at the qualitative level by documenting the results, documenting the learnings from each of these individual initiatives, and setting forth a path for individual action items so that you can sort of improve the future implementation, improve and educate your strategy and implementation system. And so the whole idea behind it, circular feedback, so that everything sort of feeds upon itself and that you're sort of iterating and improving every single time that you do something over time. And so that's a simplified version of what the tool allows you to do. If we look at it, the reporting system in Growthhound, very similar. We keep the goal data here, and we're actually able to sort of get a list of the individual initiatives associated with that. And so, the idea is to sort of, being able to sort of iterate, have a sort of a tie reporting back to implementation and the strategic goals. So that's it.